we'll get to discussing your events shortly, but creating healing groups and culture of healing. So more focused on the culture of healing. But when we think about making lifestyle choices, often we have to think about the environment that we live in and the environment that we frequent. And so having being involved in groups that are healthy and support healthy behavior is extremely important. And so what creates a culture of healing? Things to consider in your event and moving forward is respect for individuals, what's going on in their inner lives. Remember, we talked about that. That's where medicine is moving. A system of values, honest and open communication, a climate of trust, a focus on learning rather than blame. So if somebody isn't doing the 150 minutes of exercise a week, it's not, you should be doing this to prevent cancer, or you should be doing this to feel better. But how do we approach them so it's not a shame or blame type of statement? It's extremely important. People are very vulnerable, especially smokers. It's very difficult for smokers to admit that they have cancer because they know that smoking caused it. So there's a lot of internal shame and blame that's already going on that they don't need somebody there to reinforce. And the last two bullets there is meeting the clients where they are. So this is really important for us to understand. And in your workbook, there's some assessments that you can take, but meeting them where they are. So if you're doing an interactive workshop and you're talking about the gut microbiome or whatever, please understand that the majority of people don't know what the gut microbiome is. If you bring it down to eating the colors of the rainbow, you can make a difference in somebody's life in helping them to see what colors do they visit every day. How can they get more colors in there? See, our industry tends to be all about the sexiness or the complicated components of what we're learning about sleep technology or whatever. But what I learned from working with Dr. Singal and Dr. Brent Bauer at Mayo Clinic is the average literacy on health and wellness is at an 8th grade level, 8th to 12th grade level. So if we want to make changes, and I have been finding this out and working in many resorts, that the non-spa people, even the individuals working in spas, something as basic as what colors are you eating every day? Are you getting those different, at least 5 colors a day is much more impactful, and they have something that they can do than talking about the microbiota of the microbiome. So when you're putting together your event, bring it down to something that the average person can understand, because that's where you make change. Otherwise, it's just an information dump. And that's not what we're trying to do. And that's why there's this big gap in public health today. And that comes to the last bullet point there is we're not the experts, right? And so when, again, I come from a health coaching background, but to make changes, we're the guide on the side. So before you give information, again, this is in your assessment in the workbook I'll give you, but before you give information, ask, what do they already know? What do they want to know, right? Then you can start giving information and asking permission. But just thinking that you're doing a great job by giving information for information's sake doesn't enable a person to take it down to their individual level. So really important that we are that guide on the side, that we're supportive, and it's not, I'm the expert, I'm giving you information, go figure out how to do it. It really has to be, we want to make change. We really need to help them.